Gray is missing, Tookie wants to make the cover of Food and Wine magazine, and Dex bombs her PI certification interview. All that and more on the Stumptown After Show.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, I love this intro song so much. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us back here at the Stumptown After Show. We're talking episode 5, Bad Alibis. It's your girl Shay Jones here with my lovely co-host, I could say it, Miss Latoya Blakely. Now she is a Kobe Smulders, Michael Ealy stan around here. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Glad to be back.
Guys, I know Ollie's not here, but he will be back with us next week. So this episode, we're talking about the fact that Gray is missing. Tookie is exploring his cuisine as a chef, and Dex might bomb her PI certification. We also have news, big news, and our predictions and special segment to come later. So we're going to get into Gray and Kane.
Okay.
They're interesting just relationship they have.
Yeah.
Because Kane's the big baddie, obviously.
Right.
But something like Gray is seriously really calm within this.
Before we talk about that, can I give my initial impression of the episode?
Yes, let's definitely go over your overall thoughts.
Okay, so overall thoughts, I thought this was a very high energy, action-packed episode, as they've all been.
Yes.
And I love Stumptown's use of music.
The soundtrack for Stumptown is everything we never knew we needed.
I agree. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is incredible.
So that's my overall impression. It was a great episode.
I agree with you. This episode was everything, especially the fight scene that we would get to, because I love a good fight scene when it comes to Dex.
Yes.
I just appreciate it.
For sure. Okay, sorry. So question number 1 was?
Question number 1, Kane and Gray's relationship. Obviously, Kane's the big baddie. People fear him, and he's used to it. But when it comes to Gray, even though he's been kidnapped, quote unquote, he's more calm, and he's very, very single-minded focused on just trying to do his job.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gets me out of here. But obviously, even if you do the job that Kane wants you to do, you might not make it out here alive.
Yeah.
Because he could renege. So
Sure.
what was your initial thoughts on their relationship that we've seen? Because it's more fleshed out.
Right. So I definitely feel like we are learning about each character, but specifically Gray, piece by piece. Going into this episode, we knew that he was a felon, right? But
Yes.
I thought as well that he had gone to prison for theft. And so we learned this episode that he is an explosives expert, and that Gray is very, like you said, he's just very calm about all of this. He is kind of no nonsense. He's here because I have to be here, but I'm not necessarily playing by your rules. I'm here, I'm doing the job, and then I'm out. And so I don't think we got an answer as to why Kane let Gray be so assertive and independent with him. And he says, you're the only person I let talk to me like that. So I would like to know why. I would like to know why Gray has a special place with Kane when other people don't.
I feel because he said that, it was their relationship goes back further. Maybe
Right.
even a teenage childhood even.
Yeah. There's something there.
Yeah, there's something there because no one else talks to Kane that way.
Right.
Only Gray seems to be able to do it.
Right.
Without any retribution
Right.
at the same time.
Yeah. And even when, maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I was going to say, even when Gray pulled the gun.
It was shaky. There was a deep connection between both Kane and Gray in that moment. In a way, just Gray saying, don't make me do this.
Right.
I don't want to do this. I don't even want to be here right now.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hurt you. There's something very much deeper in their relationship that we have not touched on yet this season.
For sure.
And I hope that we get to learn more on just how they became these two people. And obviously, he still owes you $500,000. There's that.
Well, he turned over the artifact, right? So
Native American, 12,000-year-old.
Yeah, so I thought that covered the debt. Everyone's debt. Kane's rich now.
No, Kane got caught now.
Whoa.
Obviously we're jumping a little bit ahead, obviously. So at the end of this episode, after Gray pulled the gun, obviously Kane shot Denton, it seems like. Or we don't know who shot who. Just because of the way the trajectory of the bullet, I wouldn't think you can't miss at point blank range. Unless your hand is shaking like Gray was. In my mind.
If y'all have been tuning in throughout this show, then you know Shay is an expert at like assumptions and filling in the holes. So now we're talking about bullet trajectories.
I'm a natural conspiracy theorist when things don't add up for me. Okay.
Okay.
I have questions because
That's
of
good.
the trajectory hit his right leg, and it also may have hit a major artery. So in my mind, if you're pointing your gun at somebody's chest, point blank range, you can't miss the shot.
But we didn't see the shot, did we?
No, we only heard the gunshot.
Right. So who knows what was happening at that point?
Which is also maybe did Gray do it by accident, like a misfire?
I don't think that happened, but I do feel like the guy who got shot, what was his name? Denton was reaching for something.
Oh yeah, he was reaching for a crowbar.
Right. So maybe he swung and like caught Kane off guard.
Which is how he got shot.
Right. Definitely.
Those are the questions that I had during that scene. But obviously, Gray is good at what he did in his previous life as a criminal.
Yeah.
Because he got into the vault with minimal anything broken on the other side. So he's very good at what he did.
Well, he's an expert, according to Detective Hoffman. I would like to know where he picked up these skills.
I mean, he had a life before Dex.
Clearly. But what was that life?
A life he doesn't, I guess he wants to leave that, I guess he really wants to leave that person behind. He doesn't want to be reminded of his past because he is trying to be a legit member of society now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you've done bad things in your life, sometimes you don't want to tell the new people that come into your life that you let into your life all the bad things that you did.
Yeah.
Because you want them to know the person you are now, not the person you were back then.
Sure.
So, that's how it goes. And then Hoffman is slowly looks like he's going off the deep end. He has his murder board in his apartment. He's supposed to be in Hawaii. He is not in Hawaii.
He is not in Hawaii. And to give Shay props, I think she predicted that on our last show that he was never going to make it to Hawaii and that he was going to continue investigating off the books. And that's exactly what he did.
Detective Hoffman has a very single-mindedness when it comes to his police work, which also is what makes him a great cop. Mm-hmm. But also because he's personally involved in the case so thoroughly, there was no way he would not have, especially when you have your gut instinct is telling you that this man is still in Portland and you're searching, wasting resources, wasting a lot of money in Canada and Mexico.
Did the search go that far?
Yeah, that's what the Emily told him when she came to drop by the files he needed.
Okay.
That they're going to Canada because they think he went up there.
Okay. I was like, here we go, Shay. She rewriting the story.
No, I paid attention to the story. I'm with him. I was very focused on that information. And obviously the lieutenant knows he's lying and it comes over to take his badge away. Which something we all could have seen coming.
Sure.
Because I answered people. Like, I have your back because I might be your lieutenant, but I also think they're friends at the same time. But I do answer to people. And I have to now be your boss in this situation. Yeah. And it makes me feel like I'm the bad guy.
Yeah. And she was protecting him for sure.
She attempted.
Yeah. Even when she came to take his badge, I think part of it was out of protection. Yeah. And she warned him, you're on a very fine line and you keep doing this and you may not be able to do it anymore. In terms of, she was you're on the verge of losing your badge.
In your livelihood. Maybe you're going to be a PI now.
Right.
At that point.
They'd be a good team.
They make a great team.
Yeah.
As he comes to Dex to hire her. I really hope she got paid after this because we never found out. I'm just saying.
I think that was more of a favor.
It was a favor, but I would have. Where's my $500? That's the question I have. You wanted my services to find Gray.
Yeah.
I found Gray.
For sure. So what did you think about Kane and Gray's relationship?
I definitely think they were childhood buddies or high school buddies. Their bond spanned decades. I really believe that.
Okay.
Which is, there's only one way a person, when you run your empire by fear, And the one person you let talk to you any kind of way without any retribution is someone who's known you for decades, because you've had that kind of camaraderie, you've built that kind of trust or, repartee with that person.
Okay.
In enough years where you need that sense of level-headedness in your life.
So a prediction from Shay.
Prediction.
Coming
early
out
prediction. An early prediction.
Is that they've known each other forever, Kane and Gray. Maybe childhood friends.
Definitely.
Okay.
I don't think because especially when you have the life of being a criminal, there is not a lot of people you can trust to have your back or to, keep their word, I should say.
Okay.
Because everybody's going to be out for the money at the end of the day. That's the only reason why we're here. We're here to get the money and then go our separate ways.
Sure.
But I can also fleece you for that money and then leave you shot and dead in a ditch.
Okay.
So, and though Gray does, fear Kane in a sense, it's not at the same level as everybody else seems to have.
For sure. And then yes, maybe he fears him somewhat, but that fear wasn't very present. Like, it wasn't at the surface. Maybe it's deep down and there's some level of, like, not really knowing what he's going to do. But I felt like Gray was willing to risk it and or call his bluff.
Yeah.
So it seemed.
And calling bluffs was Hoffman with Dex saying, "You think you knew your friend." He was an explosive expert. Like, they're searching. I have to say, I did love the fact that Ansel's birthday was the combination to the safe. I thought that was super cute. And just shows, the bond that he has with Ansel.
For sure.
That was adorable. And, you have to go search through his apartment. And she finds an engagement ring. Now, that definitely has a story behind it.
For sure.
What it is, I want to know.
Yeah, we'll find out who's that ring for.
I really so want to know. And then Hoffman goes off to the 312 to talk to old buddy Petey and find that in the car parts box, there were actually just gun shells. The same gun shells that he found in Gray's safe.
Yeah.
So, he puts on, I'm big bag detective. You think you got to tell me information now, Petey, or I can shut you down. But like Pete says, I didn't ask. I just sell. Which is also how most senses work. I don't need to know where it came from.
Yeah.
I just need to get my money and keep on pushing with my life.
Or, more than that, like, if I don't ask, then I don't have anything to tell. So it just keeps me out of it.
And I can't be held culpable
right.
for any actions that were taken with the things I sold you.
Yeah, because I didn't ask. I just sold it. That's my job.
How did you feel about Hoffman slightly unhinged this episode?
I don't know if I felt like Hoffman was unhinged.
I feel like, unhinged is a very strong word. I would say more out of character for who he is in his moral compassness.
Well, what's his moral compass? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I necessarily feel like we have an answer for that. Honestly, Hoffman, as much as I like him, he has kind of some shady characteristics, or like, I feel like his character has been written in a way where we don't really know who he is or what's going on. Like, I know in the beginning I had some questions about like him and Darius's widow, like what was their relationship, when she comes into the police station in the very beginning. So like, I had questions about that, and now he's sleeping with Dex. I don't want to blame him for the Cia's death, but he definitely put him in that situation. And maybe Kane, there was some truth to Kane's words when he was like, yeah, I put that bullet in his head, but you served him up. Because he did. He served him up. Like, Darius said, something doesn't feel right. I don't want to go in there. I don't think this is good. And Detective Hoffman was like, shake it off. Like, you got this.
Because I feel like if he has other CIs, that's how they all feel. That's probably the same thing he's been told a lot. So I don't think in his mind he really thought he was sending his friend to a death sentence.
Yeah, maybe not. But,
life is life.
You're searching for Kane for a reason. Like, you're on his trail for a reason. You knew he was dangerous. This guy saying to you, I don't feel safe. Like, I feel like something's up. And so I thought it was a little selfish for him to, like, push him into that situation. So to get back to your question, because you asked if I felt like Hoffman was acting in a way that was uncharacteristic, I don't. I feel like what we've seen thus far perfectly led him to this situation. And we knew that Darius is, like, taking everything else out of it, we knew that Darius's death affected him enough to push him to the point of potentially losing his job because he wasn't going to let this go. So I do feel like that what we saw tonight was very like in line with like what we've been seeing from him.
Okay. I'm on the fence on that only because I feel that his personality or his character, he has a very strong of what's right, what's wrong. I mean, he is flexible mostly with Dex on those type of situations. But I feel like he is a good cop with good instincts.
Yeah.
And he's the type of cop that I don't ever think could be dirty.
Yeah, no.
In that
Yeah.
sense. And for me, the things he does is questionable. Of the end results, I will, concede to that fact. But character-wise, I feel like there's obviously a lot more we need to learn about Detective Hoffman as to why did he become a cop? Because I don't think we haven't learned that yet. We didn't know what actually led him to being a cop, how he and Darius knew each other. But now we know it's been 10 years since his death. Yeah.
We did learn that tonight.
So for 9 years, like he's had that overwhelming guilt. Like survivor's guilt is a terrible, terrible thing. Like it festers. Like, and granted, you might have set him up, but also Darius was a grown man. He could have still walked away.
Not actually. That's not the way it works.
After he left that car, he didn't have to walk in that house. I'm not trying to place blame on Darius. I really want to state that I'm not. But I'm also saying Darius could have made a choice that even though Hoffman wanted him to go in, he could have not gone in the house.
That's not really the way it works with CIs. I mean, that's a cute idea, but that's not the way it really works. It's more like you do what I told you to do or you go to prison. So, like maybe he had a bit of a choice, but not quite as free will as you're expressing.
I probably is more idealistic.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But, there's that. But, before we get more idealistic and more into this episode, I just want to say thank you guys so much for, tuning into us week after week at AfterBuzz TV. We love doing what we do here for you guys. And this is seriously one of the best jobs I've ever had. But to continue to do what we do, we need your help. So if you're watching us right now on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. If you're listening to us right now on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. The 1 through 4 were blown up by Gray. They don't work. I'm so sorry. I can't take that. Legit is why just Gray blew him up. He gets like that sometimes. He's been through a very traumatic 2 days. Okay. But again, we love you guys. Thank you guys so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And speaking of things we love, Tookie loves food. Tookie loves food. He has his nice little food truck, and he's comfortable for a second till he gets on the ground by way of CJ. What's his last name? McCollum, saying that his tacos are the best, and he thinks that he needs to expand. He gets a big head, like I need to expand my franchise, my business. And then when Dex gives him the opportunity to come to Bad Alibis to fill in because Gray's chef quit, he decides to get very festive and elaborate with his Mexican cuisine.
Yeah.
What do you think of Tookie's aspirations in this episode?
Well, I think that we learned from when Tookie helped Dex a couple episodes ago investigate the husband.
Yes.
Tookie takes pride in what he does, right?
Yes.
And so I am not surprised that he had grand aspirations for this business. And it seemed like maybe, the food truck was where he started, but he was already eyeing something bigger. And so when the opportunity came, I appreciate the fact that he made the most of it. Because Tookie's not going to do anything small. And he's not going to have to do anything.
Oh, no, he's doing churros.
We could all learn from Tookie.
We're doing churros and everything. And then CJ comes to the bar, and everybody's, just enthralled by the fact that CJ McCollum is in the Bad Alibis and taking pictures, from behind them, trying to be sneaky, as fans do. And that even makes him get even more of a big head until the food critics article comes out and saying that him wanting to move to a restaurant isn't necessarily where Portland needs him to be. They need him to be the food truck.
Yeah.
That is because Portland also is known for being weird. It's a state of fact.
Like Austin, Texas, keep Austin weird.
Keep Austin weird, keep Portland stays weird. But that's also why that's why it's awesome and very artsy and hipster and draws that crowd in and of itself. But sometimes grand aspirations don't have to go away, but that doesn't mean where you are isn't the best place for you. Like in Tookie's defense, like his grand aspirations to be a restaurateur and have multiple restaurant locations everywhere is great in theory, but what he has is so special. He shouldn't need to change it yet, at least, because they need him to stay the food truck.
Well, I thought that it was very noble of Tookie to take that article to heart and to take it to mean that he needed to stay where he was in the food truck.
Yeah.
I just think it goes to show what kind of guy Tookie is. Like, he really is concerned with, one, always doing his best, but two, being the best for other people. And so I viewed it as he's willing to sacrifice something bigger to stay where he is and to serve, the people of Portland in the way that he feels that they need him. And so that, I like Tookie. Tookie, you are a great guy.
We love Tookie so much. Adrian Martinez is such a fabulous character actor. Whatever you've seen in him, he does it well. And playing Tookie is such a character where he might bring the comic relief, but he also brings like this almost, I don't want to say innocence, but very just lighthearted moment of time that I feel is needed.
Oh yeah, and teaching moments for sure. Like I said, I think he's a great character. He's a great guy, and he's just really focused on being the best he can be.
Yes.
And outside of Hansel, you know what I mean? We don't have such like pure, good-hearted characters. I mean, I think everyone has a good intention. So I think that everyone's like trying to do the best that they can. But I definitely think that Ansel and Tookie are just really good, innocent people focused on like being the best.
Yes, as we see, Ansel is trying to help Tookie as much as he can, even giving advice in the crossword puzzles to Frank, who decided to just park himself there the entire day to keep an eye on Dex and Ansel.
Yeah, let's talk about Ansel for a second.
Ansel is my main man for this episode. Ansel for the win. So when Frank, picks him up in his car to say he's going to meet Gray, they go to Pearl's Diner. And Ansel, though, seriously, I think what this show also shows, don't let people with autism make you underestimate them. They're so much clever and smarter than you will ever be. Him walking into the women's restroom was genius. And I love the fact that Dex has a card that she gave him. So if you ever get lost.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that all somebody has to do is call the number on the back.
Mm-hmm.
That was the smartest thing ever. And obviously Frank is not going to come in after you in the women's restroom. But you think it's okay because Ansel is on the spectrum for some reason.
There we have it, right? Don't judge a book by its cover.
True.
He was underestimated, and he used that to his advantage. He was very smart about the situation. He stayed calm the whole time.
Never letting Frank know that
he was.
I see what you're doing to me.
Right, for sure. He went along with it, but he did what he needed to do to make sure he was safe and that Dex was on her way. And it was a beautiful moment.
It was, especially when Dex comes in. Hey, kitchen guy, Henry needs you outside. Okay, grabs the big kitchen knife and just parks it right. He's like, hey, buddy, how are you doing? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, so can you just go out to the car? I'll be right there.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that Ansel wants to protect his sister. He also says, I can stay with you.
Yeah.
If you need me, I'm here. I got you, sis. I think that was such a great moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ansel loves hard. He loves the people in his life, both Dex and Gray, and I think he's willing to do whatever for both of them. So
yes,
it's pretty great. Yeah, but Dex is, fierce in the best ways, and the way she took that knife to the lower region.
Trouble downtown.
She played
is what she
no
said.
Games.
Trouble downtown. That's the best way. Don't do this at home unless guy really deserves it. I will say that. Sometimes
I think she meant don't do this at home
when it's needed. Okay, so it's all time for a place for
don't do this at home.
Protecting the people you love. Okay. I'm really not trying to perpetuate bad behavior. I can't help it sometimes. Okay. However, we're gonna get into the Frank Dex fight. Frank is able to get the knife away from his trouble downtown and walks Dex to the back. Now, if I was Frank, I would be very suspicious of the fact that she just got really calm and said, okay, let's go on outside.
Yeah.
That was your first mistake, sir.
Yeah. But what else was she going to do?
True, like she wasn't going to let him shoot up the diner, which is also Mills Diner on Ventura Boulevard. But I just had to get that out there because I love that place. It's so cute.
So you mean they don't actually film in Portland?
In case, spoiler alert! In case you did not know, they filmed some. I think they filmed pilot in Portland.
Okay.
But after that, they filmed in LA, and I think some shots were still in Portland. But the majority of the scenes, some are shot here in LA. So, movie magic. Sorry for the spoiler. Back to the episode.
Yeah.
They go into the kitchen. Nobody's there still. Henry and the kitchen guy are still outside. And it's a nice smackdown fight. I should feel really bad the fact that Frank didn't take it easy on Dex because she's a woman.
Okay.
That sounds super bad probably. But I thought the fight was awesome. Like, pick her up, slam her down, and she's gonna give it. It's the give and take of the fight that I liked.
Yeah.
I should say it was more about the fight exchange of the give and take of that I appreciated.
Yeah.
Versus it being like, oh, I'm just gonna punch you and you're just gonna take it type like half. Can I say assing? Half-assing the fight scene.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't be in Dex's character, right? Like Kobe is, I mean, she's legit in this. Dex is legit in this, and I don't think she's had a fight every episode. And what we've learned is that she does not back down. Like, she's prepared, she's ready, and she's giving it everything she's got.
Yes.
And so, yeah, no, he didn't take it easy on her, and she didn't take it easy on him. She went all out.
And the sleeper chokehold is my favorite move ever. Just take a guy out real quick. Go to sleep. Hurry up. I'm tired. And you made me lose my ponytail. Go to sleep.
Yes, her hair did come down.
Her hair came down during the fight. Like, that's when you know things are like really intense. When your hair's in a tight ponytail and it just comes loose.
It's done. She worked hard.
She worked hard. She duct taped him into the freezer.
Yeah.
I still don't know where she got the tape. But I like the fact that she paid Henry with the cash from Frank's pocket.
Oh, yeah. That was
just a
genius,
nice little touch.
Yeah.
Just I just need 8 minutes top, sir. Then you can have everybody come back in. But till then, give me just 8 minutes with this guy who does not want to give me the information I need.
And I just have to go back to Dex and Hoffman. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with their relationship, right? And sometimes we can see that Dex isn't so willing to play Hoffman's game and like to give him the information that he's requesting. But I do like that when she was in trouble and she was going to get Ansel, she called him. No questions asked. Be here right away.
And he was
there
up,
for sure. Yeah.
I mean, granted, she didn't need you for the fight, but we like that you showed up, sir.
But I thought someone was gonna come in during that fight. I was like, is Ansel gonna come in and like?
Dude, nobody in the front
head?
hear all this banging.
Right? No, she handled it on her own in true Dex fashion.
I mean, woman got to do what a woman got to do.
That
and
is true.
Sometimes she can only save herself.
That is true. We do what we gotta do.
I think that's also is a statement for the show. We as women, sometimes we have to do it ourselves. If we want the answers, if we have to protect ourselves, we're going to have to do it ourselves. No longer waiting on a man to come and save us. We can save our damn selves.
Yes. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, you do what you have to do. And the theme of the show is women empowerment, for sure. Yes. Like the women characters, the leads of this show are just extremely powerful, strong, intelligent women who take care of themselves and the people around them.
Yes.
So,
especially Janet, that we met this episode because she is the person that holds Dex's PI license in her hands. So she interviews Dex and, she asks her those questions, basic questions you get if you wanted a job. Why do you want it? Mm-hmm. And I don't think Dex truly thought of it in depth because she wasn't expecting it at all. She kept saying, and mm-hmm. which is what we're not supposed to do in an interview.
Yeah.
Say that a lot. But she gave an honest answer. I'm not great at a lot of things. I haven't had a steady job in 10 years, but this, for some crazy reason, I am amazing at. And all the stuff, the long sleepless night you're talking about, that actually sounds great to me.
Yeah. Well, Dex had a lot on her mind, She had a lot already happening up until that point with that interview. And I mean, how many of you have ever felt like you gave an answer that was too honest and afterwards you were like, I just blew that?
Yes.
I could so identify with that. My mom always tells me that I'm way too honest. And sometimes, yeah, like after the fact, you're like, dang, I should not have said all of that.
Yeah, she kept those thoughts right back in the head that they came out.
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
Okay. But then obviously once they're out, you live by it.
Yeah.
And I think her honesty is what really made Janet say,
Yes.
there's something in this woman that needs to be in this industry of the PI industry because she's real.
Yeah.
Like everybody's trying to be shady and lie and cheat and steal, even PIs, to get what they need.
Mm-hmm.
I think her honesty was a breath of fresh air to Janet.
Yeah.
And so obviously she comes back and she hands Dex her PI license. But she also reminds her that you will make a lot more money bartending. I'm just saying.
Well, Dex was charging some pretty good money out there. And going back to the guy who mentored her,
Yes.
he was doing pretty well.
Well, that also because he plays both sides. But yes, he was doing very
Yeah,
well.
he was making good money. So I don't know what kind of money bartenders in Portland are making, but I think that Dex will do okay as a PI.
We should look up what bartenders in Portland make a night.
Maybe I can go hang out in Portland for a weekend and bartend and see what's up. I've never been to Portland.
I have never been either.
Okay, well, then apparently we need to do that.
Yeah, we have to take a trip to Portland, guys. So that was our show. Gray is saved, but we don't know
the way,
Oh,
bartenders make about $9.73 an hour
you just said hum now.
Wow.
in Portland.
What's
That is-
Can I go to Portland and make $973 an hour?
No. $9.
$9.73.
So my bad. Okay,
But
so you said that.
it's 19% higher than the national average for a bartender, which is $7.84 per hour.
That's crazy.
That's-
I don't know.
That's great money then. And plus the tips you make too. So you're pouring a good drink. You're doing pretty well in Portland, I guess.
I don't know if I think that's great money.
I feel like I would actually have to like actually talk to a bartender. to find-
You need to think about that. Yeah.
So, Gray is saved, though his relationship with Dex is shaky-ish for right now. That right hook was amazing, by the way.
Right hook.
That right hook
Yes.
punch was everything. But, we have to see where their relationship is going to be now because of... She still knows about the ring, so I think that's what she really wanted him to tell her.
Oh, I disagree. I don't think that ring was on her mind at all. Like, clearly she saw the ring. But even when she had the ring in her hand, I mean, I think she, gave it a moment of, huh. But I think that, like, that was a passing thought. Of course, we'll see this come back again, right?
Definitely.
But I think she was so focused on the fact that there are all of these things I don't know about you. And she was livid at the idea of her brother being in danger because of Gray.
Yeah.
And so I think that was really the only thing on her mind. Like, how dare you do this to him, to me, and I don't know you.
Yeah, how dare I trust you with the one person that means the most in the world to me, and you put that person in danger.
Yeah.
Now, even though I got you off, should I reevaluate your role in his life? I mean, that's a question she's going to have to ask herself as well.
I think we're giving Dex too much credit if we say she got him off. I mean, I feel like
She didn't get him off so much as she asked the favor of Hoffman to take it easy on Gray.
Well, that's what Hoffman said in the beginning. He's like, I'm not concerned about Gray. I want Kane.
True. So I mean, the goal was he got who he wanted.
Right. He got who he wanted. But speaking of, I really liked the end when Hoffman came through on his word and told, his boss.
Oh, the lieutenant.
Yes. That,
I love the story he tried to weave as well. In that he was just, my informant that was very instrumental.
Right. And
in the whole takedown. And she was so happy that it was just, you know what? Just fill out the paperwork and I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, for sure. So that was good. Yeah.
So we're going to get into our real quick game of You Just Got Stumped. Love that. So, Miss Latoya.
Yeah.
Let's start with you. What stumped you in this episode?
That punch from Dex to Gray, I did not see that coming. I thought she was going to be so happy to have him back and have him save. I had no idea she was going to rush in there and sock him.
For me, stumped me was Ansel's going to in the ladies' room. That only because it was so cunning, and I wasn't expecting it. So in my mind, I'm thinking he's gonna figure out a way to do it. I just couldn't get the whole picture until it happened. So that was so amazing. And guys, Miss Latoya has some amazing, incredible news for you.
I do have some
TV news.
great news. It has been reported by the Hollywood Reporter that ABC has ordered a full series of Stumptown.
Ooh, we coming back.
We don't know how many episodes that means. So how many episodes will be the full season? We don't know that yet. We just know that more episodes are on the way. And also, Matt Olmstead, who is a co-creator of Chicago PD, has been added as a co-showrunner to Stumptown.
Yes.
I love Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, the whole Chicago trilogy. So I'm sure that his addition to Stumptown will be a great, great thing.
He also is the mind behind Prison Break and Breakout Kings, which is seriously one of my favorite shows. So we're so happy Matt is joining this amazing show to bring us more badass content, because it's going to get lit around here. So guys, we're going to get some quick predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You want me to start?
Start.
Okay, so next week I'm going to predict, we're going to learn the flow, I would say, of where Hoffman and Dex lie relationship-wise, because we are getting introduced to somebody from Dex's past, and that is a female. And I cannot wait to see the battle of the sexes for Dex in this episode, if that is how it's going to go. Because obviously there's a stalker, and I feel like that's really going to push Dex and Hoffman's relationship in a way. I don't know if it's going to be a good way or a bad way, but I know it's going to get pushed in some way because now there's competition.
Interesting.
Or will it even be like a quadruple with Grey thrown in? We don't know.
I mean, it must be nice to be Dex and to be so wanted by so many people. I mean, she has 2 guys. She now has a girl. So, speaking of, shout out to our host, Ollie, who brought this up. He has the comic book, the graphic novel. And he said that Dex's character in the novel was bisexual. And so he wondered if we would see some of that on the show. And based on the preview for next week's episode, we are going to see some of that on the show.
And some, crooning up to a piano scenes that are always make great TV.
So I'm excited to see what happens next week. As far as predictions, maybe we'll find out more about this engagement ring.
I really hope so.
Yeah. I'm like, who could it be for? Like, is it for Dex?
Was it before you went to jail?
Right?
Was there a woman in your life before?
Has there been a woman since Dex? Like, I just have so many questions about this engagement ring. So I'm hoping that next episode we can find out a little bit more about that.
Guys, those are our predictions. We will see you next week for our mid-season finale, we're going to call it.
Yeah.
And we do have a special guest joining us, so tune in to our Twitter accounts for who that's going to be. Latoya, can you tell people they can find you?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Latoya.Blakely or Twitter at Blakely Latoya.
And you guys can find me at Real Shay Jones on Twitter and Instagram, and the Sorry for Your Loss after show on Tuesdays at 7 to 7:30 p.m. And I'm your new correspondent for Disney News Weekly on Popcorn Talk. See you guys next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.